Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Entab Presents CampusCare EdTalks, an exclusive platform where the stalwarts of education come on board and express their viewpoints on curbing topics related to education. Before I begin, let me quickly introduce you to Entab. We are a 20-year-old IT company engaged in providing matured and futuristic school ERP, school CRM, and mobile apps to the schools spread across India and help in transforming them from good schools to great ones. In this session, we'll discuss about becoming responsible netizens in today's digital era. We shall understand the responsibility that comes with the freedom of any online digital platform. We'll also learn about tackling trolls and how one can learn to accept different opinions online. We'll also learn about the increased spread of fake news by unverified sources that can lead to chaos. So let's start by introducing our panelists for today. Please welcome Mrs. Poonima Menon, the principal of Anand Vidya Vihar, Vadodara, Gujarat. In her educational journey of more than 2 decades, ma'am has been awarded with the Shresth Shikshak Samman, Radhakrishnan Samman, the Progressive School Educator Award, and many more accolades under her belt. Ma'am believes that once a teacher, always remains a teacher. Welcome to the show, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So my name is Himanshu, and if you're watching us on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe that button and you click on the bell icon to stay regularly updated. So, ma'am, in our offline lives, our words and actions influence people around us. In your opinion, how do you think the things that we say online influence a larger group of people, and thus how can we become more responsible while writing on the internet?
The very fact that one is aware that you are addressing a larger audience should ring a bell in your head. So, you must frame and construct whatever you put across scientifically, which is based on facts, which is not trying to mislead people, and that which helps, augur betterment in the society. So for me, a responsible netizen is someone who knows how to use internet wisely, who knows that it has a lot of potential, but can also be weaponized, can also be used wrongly. So if you know the potential of what you're using as a platform, I think that serves the purpose when you're a responsible netizen.
Right. Wonderfully said, ma'am. Moving forward, in our recent past, we have seen many sources of news have emerged online. And to be honest, news that doesn't even make sense. One of the popular and loved one is known as what? WhatsApp University. I remember this. The main thing, uh, it is promoting fake news. There are so many WhatsApp forwarded, and by law as well, the government of India has actually stated that if you send the news, if you spread fake news, it's a crime. You have to verify the resource first where it is coming from. So, ma'am, in your opinion, how does being a responsible netizen also involve sharing the information via only verified resource?
I think first one must understand that before you talk about something like a WhatsApp university, first our first role is that of a consumer. The first thing is before I spread something, I obviously get some forward. So as a consumer, what is my first responsibility? That is why they have decided to use the code, the acronym SIFT, meaning you stop, S for stop, I for investigate, F for find, and T for trace. So you stop when you come across something that is jarring. You investigate whether it is right or not. Before I, as a person, spread it across, I should investigate whether it is right or not. Find out various sources. And if you're able to find out sources, then trace its original source. If you find that it is valid enough and it is going to better, it's adding on to the betterment of the society, fine. Sometimes some news items are true, but it has an incendiary tone to it. It has something which is inflammatory. It is better we don't add on to it. It may be true, but we don't need to contribute to something that can lead to chaos and confusion. All right? But the first logic that has to be applied is that as a consumer. So before I forward something, I need to sift news. Once I do that, as I said, if I feel I need to spread the message across, I have already ascertained whether it's a fact or not. Then I put across, choose words wisely, knowing very well who would consume it. For example, I should be aware of the position I enjoy in the society. As a principal, I know who my consumers, who the readers, who the viewers would be. So I have to be very, very sure as to what I'm spreading. As a student, they have their friends community. As somebody who has got limited contact, the reach would be less. So the farther the reach, the more responsible one has to be. So as a netizen, the primary responsibility is one to be a good consumer, and two, after you consume the news, before you spread, be wise and act as a responsible person. So I think then whether it's from WhatsApp University or some fake news, like I think all of us were amused when we read that in the Venice canals we had dolphins and swans moving together. I thought that was really hilarious. So something like that can be avoided. You don't cut a sorry figure when you know that this news is not worth spreading or sharing.
Best news which I always like during Diwali time is that there's a picture that comes that NASA has sent. It's like NASA doesn't have any other work to do. They only have to click photographs on Diwali. When India is so enlightened. So that
So
is,
and
ma'am.
this is
Okay,
like our desires. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. Ma'am, okay, I'll just divert a bit off topic, and I want to include the main media as well. Do you think main media is also responsible for spreading fake news sometimes?
see, I think times have changed when media ethics used to be different and they would only be involved in spreading correct news. Now the competition is so high, I believe, in the field that even the very reputed print media and digital media and electronic media, they are involved in mudslinging, in a patter words, and they are, their main intention happens to be coming out first with news, however fake that is. So yes, big media houses are also involved big time in spreading news that can have a far-reaching impact on citizens,
Yeah,
and it's not called for.
ma'am, whenever I switch on the news channel, it's always like if you, I won't name the channels, of course, there are legal predicaments to it, but the point is, it's either pro government or anti government. There's no middle way. And like the whole news is being manipulated, and we are being fed some sort of manipulative news in everything. So, however, this might be the con of mainstream media. But when we come to online, the same thing goes away, but now the same thing has also started happening online as well. We are being influenced. For example, one example which I would love to take is the US elections, wherein it was often said that people's mind and algorithms are being put so that you see a certain type of news, you see a certain type of news feed and your advertisements and your articles. So do you think it also is very rampant in online world as well, or it's just a hogwash?
It is rampant in on the digital platform in the media world also, because there are so many times when so many things from reputed media houses, news comes out only to be quashed the very next day by people who are dedicatedly involved in busting myths. But why to stoop so low? If one has, is it a race to present news at the fastest, or is it to give the best and the quality part to it? So I believe it is certainly rampant, and it's not that most of these houses choose their words wisely, unfortunately.
Uh, okay, coming to my last point, the internet gives us access to a very large community, as you said, the reach, right? Isme different type of people of different castes, different creed, different races, different religions comes to play, and we often see that some society would be hating on some, which is very general. It happens because we as human beings are born with conflict only, I guess. So, in this scenario, how important it is to give importance to other people's values while stating your own opinion.
I think the essence of our country matters here. We are a secular nation. We are, apart from the fact that we are a republic, we are a democracy where we have freedom of speech. we shouldn't forget the fact that we are a secular nation where we have people from different faiths, people from different beliefs, genders, everybody listening or consuming the facts that you present. So there has to be something called a responsibility, because your intent, if it's very clear, if it's to spread news which has some validity, then it has to be just that. It can't be meant to, insult others, or it can't be certainly polarize people, because then the intent is something different. If you are a very respectable citizen of India, who commands a certain amount of influence on people, has enjoys a certain amount of respect among people, then you have to choose your words a lot more wisely as compared to somebody who has less reach, as I mentioned earlier. You can't, certainly, you may have the most negative feelings within, but what you pronounce has, there are people who have, who have dichotomy in their beliefs. But I don't think you should bring it out in your, in the news feed or your posts or whatever, your stories that you put out for consumption.
Yeah,
Because,
ma'am, certain politicians that we see, right? They also make very boisterous comments and comments which have which makes no sense at all. And so, how can we expect our kids to not, follow them, because monkey see what monkey do, right? Monkey see, monkey do. So, thank you so much, Purnima ma'am, for giving us your valuable time. It was a pleasure having this conversation. SIFT is something which I learned very from you right now. So, even though I'm the head of marketing and I should be knowing these things, we do verify our sources and everything. But again, a new acronym which I learned. One learns new things every day, I guess. So, thank you so much for that, Purnima ma'am. It was a pleasure having you. Till we meet in next time in some other webinar on some other important topic. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, ma'am.
thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Have a nice day, ma'am.